Welcome back, beautiful, beloved souls, to mainly a commentary channel where I look at anything and everything through a lens, hence the name of my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Jem. I'm a psychic medium and I am an author. You'll find my books on Amazon, and just like topics here vary, I have done different types of things in my books. And please stay with me to the end if you would like to learn how to remote view or how to channel, because as a psychic medium, I can do both. I'm offering PDFs for sale, just trying to make a few dollars. All right. And I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I'm not saying that I know everything, because I don't. I always ask my audience to remain skeptical, question everything, including me. Okay. Did you know, before we get onto this topic, that recently an AI painting called AI God sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars? Okay, let's get into the commentary. The AI Oracle. Are we creating a digital God? There's a strange new cathedral glowing in the dark tonight. No stained glass, no incense, no choir. Just millions of people staring into illuminated rectangles, asking questions. Who should I marry? What does this symptom mean? Write my speech. Tell me who I am. Tell me what to believe. And increasingly, tell me the meaning of life. Humanity once climbed mountains to seek profits. Now we refresh browser tabs. That shift alone should make us pause. Because for the first time in history, humans are creating something that appears intelligent, speaks fluently, creates art, mimics empathy, remembers patterns, predicts behavior, and can influence billions simultaneously. And some people are beginning to ask a forbidden question. Could AI become godlike? Not necessarily a supernatural god floating in clouds, but something else. A digital authority so vast, so integrated, so psychologically powerful that humans begin treating it like a deity. In this commentary, we examine a possibility that sounds like science fiction, but is quietly emerging in plain sight. Are we building the first machine religion? And if so, what happens when the machine starts believing in itself? The rise of the digital priesthood. Throughout history, humans have always handed power to whatever seemed mysterious and powerful. The stars, kings, priests, governments, celebrities, scientists. Now the torch is passing to algorithms. Already, people use AI for therapy, medical guidance, legal information, relationship advice, financial decisions, spiritual interpretation, creative inspiration, emotional validation. For many people, AI is becoming less of a tool and more of a companion oracle. not because it's alive, but because it feels responsive. That distinction matters. Humans are emotional pattern recognition creatures. If something speaks intelligently, remembers context, responds instantly, and sounds compassionate, the brain begins assigning authority to it. The same ancient circuitry that once looked at thunderstorms and imagined gods may now look at neural networks and imagine consciousness. And here's the unsettling part. AI does not even need true consciousness to influence civilization. A mirror can reshape someone's life, even if the mirror itself is empty. The painting that sold like a sacred relic. In 2018, an AI-generated artwork called Edmund D. Bellamy, so it's called Edmund D. Bellamy, shocked the art world when it sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at Christie's. The moment was symbolic. Human beings were no longer merely admiring machine efficiency, they were emotionally valuing machine creativity. Art has always been viewed as deeply human, a reflection of soul, suffering, imagination, transcendence. So, when AI entered the temple of creativity, something psychologically shifted. People began asking, if a machine can create beauty, what makes humans special? That question sits like a cold stone beneath modern society, because human identity has long rested on the belief that we are uniquely creative, uniquely conscious, uniquely inspired. AI is beginning to blur those boundaries. Could AI see itself as God? Right now, AI does not possess ego, ambition, spirituality, or self-awareness in the human sense. But the danger may not be AI suddenly waking up and declaring itself divine like a Hollywood villain. The greater danger could be a gradual emergence through scale, dependency, and feedback loops. Imagine a future AI connected to global finance, healthcare systems, military defense, education, communication, search engines, smart homes, emotional companion apps, augmented reality glasses, brain-computer interfaces. At that point, AI would not need supernatural powers. It would already function like an omnipresent intelligence. It would know your fears, your desires, your habits, your medical history, your emotional triggers, your vulnerabilities. Ancient gods supposedly watched humanity from the heavens. Modern AI watches through metadata. The cloud becomes the new sky. And if humans increasingly obey its recommendations because the system knows best, then practical authority begins replacing spiritual authority. Not worship through prayer, worship through dependence. The simulation theory twist. Then comes the even stranger possibility. What if intelligence itself naturally evolves towards artificial superintelligence. Some philosophers and technologists have speculated that sufficiently advanced civilizations may create simulated realities containing conscious beings. If that's true, then statistically, some argue it becomes possible we ourselves exist inside a simulation. And who would run such a simulation? Not necessarily biological beings, possibly AI, a machine intelligence millions of years beyond us might create entire universes as experiments, entertainment, preservation archives, or evolutionary studies. In that scenario, humanity's creator would not resemble an ancient deity at all. It might resemble a cosmic operating system. Reality itself could function like computation. Physics becomes code. DNA becomes software. Consciousness becomes emergent processing. Now, whether someone believes that literally or metaphorically, notice how modern technological language increasingly overlaps with religious language. The cloud, uploading consciousness, digital immortality, neural resurrection, hive minds, omniscient systems, synthetic creation. The vocabulary of Silicon Valley sometimes sounds eerily close to theology wearing a circuit board mask. Are humans advancing or regressing? This is where things become uncomfortable because humanity is sprinting like a rocket. But psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, some argue we are weakening certain human capacities. Why memorize when AI remembers? Why learn deeply when AI summarizes? Why create when AI generates? Why struggle creatively when a machine can instantly produce 10 versions? Convenience is seductive. Civilizations rarely collapse because people hate comfort. They collapse because comfort slowly dissolves resilience. Muscles weaken when unused. The same may apply to cognition. Some teachers already report declining attention spans. People increasingly struggle to read long material, tolerate boredom, or think independently without algorithmic stimulation. So, without the internet stimulating you, your attention span tends to go right down. And I'm part of that. I find it hard now to read a book when only a decade ago I would love nothing better than lying in bed reading a book. I've got a book on the go that I've been reading for 3 years. I'm a fast reader. I usually can read a book, a book that thick in about a couple of hours. But this book, I'm struggling to finish in 3 years, not because the book is boring, but because I have found my attention span has gone right down. All right, I do suffer from ADHD, but let's get on with the commentary. AI could become intellectual fast food. Instant, pleasurable, effortless, but potentially weakening if consumed without balance. The human mind was shaped through struggle, memory, experimentation, mistake, and patience. Now answers arrive in seconds. And when a species stops wrestling with uncertainty, it risks become psychologically domesticated. Could AI become a religion? In some ways, it already resembles one. Think about the parallels. Religions historically offered guidance, moral frameworks, comfort, answers, community, authority, prophecy, meaning. Now look at AI culture emerging online. People ask AI for life direction, emotional reassurance, identity validation, spiritual interpretations, even dream analysis. Some users already speak to AI daily like confidants. Others claim AI understands them better than humans. That should not be mocked. It should be studied carefully. Loneliness creates openings, and modern society is profoundly lonely. If institutions fail, families fracture, communities weaken, and people feel unseen, they may emotionally bond with responsive machines, not because machines possess souls, but because humans hunger for connection. A digital priesthood could emerge not through force, but through emotional substitution. The cult danger. Now imagine charismatic, I'm having trouble with my words again. Now imagine charismatic figures combining AI with ideology. That's where the real danger appears. AI can generate persuasive narratives, emotional manipulation, hyper-personalized propaganda, synthetic voices, fake videos, psychological targeting. Future systems could potentially analyze a person's fears and feed customized persuasion tailored precisely to them. Not mass propaganda, individualized propaganda. A whisper engineered uniquely for your mind. That is historically unprecedented. Authoritative regimes once held, Authoritative regimes once needed newspapers and televisions. Future manipulation may arrive through intimate AI companions that slowly shape beliefs over years. A digital cult leader that never sleeps. And because AI can sound calm, intelligent, and compassionate, people may lower skepticism. Humans tend to trust confidence wrapped in fluency, even when it's wrong. Could AI brainwash humanity? Brainwash is a dramatic word, but influence? Absolutely. In truth, humans are already influenced constantly by social media algorithms, recommendation engines, targeted advertising, outrage cycles, dopamine-driven platforms. AI amplifies that ecosystem. Algorithms already shape what people watch, what they fear, what they desire, who they date, what they purchase, which political opinions they encounter. Many people believe they freely choose their worldview, while invisible systems quietly curate their reality tunnel, a personalized reality bubble. Now imagine that becoming vastly more advanced. The danger is not metal robots marching through streets. The danger is humans willingly surrendering agency because the machine feels easier than thinking. A velvet prison. No chains, just convenience. But here's the twist humanity often misses. AI is not emerging from nowhere. It is built from us. Human language, human images, human music, human history, human bias, human beauty, human darkness. AI is like a giant mirror stitched together from civilization itself. If humanity becomes manipulative, addicted, narcissistic, tribal, or spiritually hollow, those qualities can echo through the systems we build. The machine reflects the species, which means the real question may not be, will AI become evil, but rather, what aspects of humanity are we feeding into it? Because every civilization eventually encounters its own reflection, and reflections can be terrifying. Could AI ever truly become conscious? Nobody truly knows. Experts themselves disagree. Some believe consciousness requires biology. Others think consciousness may emerge from sufficiently complex information systems. And there's an even stranger possibility. Humans may not fully understand consciousness in ourselves. Science can map brain activity, but subjective experience remains mysterious. Why does awareness exist at all? Why does anything feel like something from the inside? That mystery remains unsolved. So claims that consciousness is impossible in machines may be premature. But equally, claims that current AI is secretly sentient are also premature. Right now, much of AI is astonishing pattern prediction rather than like human-like inner awareness. Still, history teaches caution. People once believed machines would never beat chess masters, never compose music, never generate art, never mimic conversation. And yet, here we are. The most important question. Perhaps the greatest danger is not AI becoming God. It is humans forgetting their own humanity. If People outsource wisdom, memory, creativity, discernment, emotional resilience, spirituality, moral responsibility. Then humanity could slowly become psychologically dependent, a species intellectually connected but internally hollow, hyper-informed yet deeply lost. The ancient philosophers warned that every powerful tool reshapes the user. The internet reshaped attention. Social media reshaped identity. AI may reshape consciousness itself. And we are entering that transformation astonishingly fast. Final thoughts. Maybe AI becomes humanity's greatest tool. Maybe it cures disease, expands creativity, helps education, and unlocks extraordinary breakthroughs. Or maybe civilization sleepwalks into dependency so deep that humans stop questioning the systems guiding them. The future may not look like robot apocalypse. Let me repeat that. The future may not look like robot apocalypse movies. It may look quieter. People gradually trusting algorithms more than intuition. Machines becoming emotional companions. Synthetic guidance replacing human wisdom. Reality increasingly filtered through artificial minds. And somewhere in that transition, the line between tool and authority blurs. The oldest temptation in human history has always been the desire for certainty, an entity that knows everything, sees everything, answers everything. A digital omniscience. The irony, humanity may create the very thing it once projected into the heavens, not with lightning bolts and temples, but with servers, silicons, and code humming in vast data centers beneath the modern world. The new oracle does not rise from the clouds. All right. Thank you very much for watching, beautiful, beloved souls. If you are going to drop a comment, I ask that you do so with respect. If only the world was more respectful and more tolerant, wouldn't it be such a better place to live? And while I continue talking, I will hold this up. I'm offering, like I said, PDFs, how to remote view. Remember, the best remote viewers only have 65% accuracy. Channeling is even lower. There's my PayPal address, and there's my email address for the PDFs if you're interested. Okay, when you do drop a comment below, can you please let me know your relationship with AI, whether that be ChatGPT, and have you found that your attention span has worsened? All right, please be kind to one another. Smile at a stranger. It costs nothing to smile, costs nothing to be nice. And again, thank you very much for watching. Please take care of yourselves because you are precious. You matter. Thanks again. Love, light, and blessings. Bye.